Hello YouTubers. Today's video is a short little video on how to get your horn working on your sports steering wheel. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a sports steering wheel, but this one is. And it is in my opinion, the more difficult of the two to get up and working between the sports steering wheel and like the regular steering wheel. So, but the concept is the same. So, we'll go through this. I wasn't going to film this. So I didn't really film too much of it taking it apart, but after I got into it, I was looking for some reference material on it, and I couldn't find anybody that had done a good job of this. So I'm trying to put something together to help those guys out there that may be like me, that don't have the internals of the horn there, and try to figure out how to put them together. So let's get into it. We'll start as I open up the parts that I got, and we'll go from there. Well, I got the parts in to now put this back together. So basically, here is the set. It's I bought it off of eBay. Has a part number here of 78740. It's from a company called Original Equipment Reproductions. So it wasn't very expensive, like $14, something like that. So I'm going to take this out, and then we're going to take the new horn thing. Matter of fact, we might as well do it as I'm speaking. I'll just take that right out of the package right now. Getting stabbed by my light. All right, only 3 pieces. Okay. That's the way I think it goes, because this needs to be able to, flex, because it's got to come up against the steering wheel, and it can't pull out. So let me just review how I did that. So you got a little piece of the copper or brass or whatever that is down there. The spring is going to go in that hole, down this shaft. This is going to sit on top of the spring, and there's a little groove. Let me bring it up so you can see what I'm doing. Spring's in there. We just push this down there, and then I'm just turning it like that. And then that's out. That's going to press on the bottom of the steering wheel, and that's going to give the ground. So it'll come from the steering wheel. The steering wheel will make contact. Well, the apparatus this connects to will make contact to this, and this is already grounded to the steering wheel cover or to the steering wheel column, so that'll be how that goes. Okay, so now that that's figured out, let's take this over to the car. Okay, so I'm back in the car, and I had taken some of this apart just so that I could get this unit out of here, because there was a spring or something stuck in here. So I had to get that out of here. And since I'm in here, I'll just show you, what's in here. So basically you have your switch for your thing. And I might put some more grease on that. Hold on a second. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this red and tacky grease that I have, and I'm just going to put some on here. I didn't want to forget to do this. You don't need a lot. Let's see. And I just moved the turn signal. It's nice when the grease doesn't want to stick. There. Now it'll have a little bit of grease on there to try to help. All right, good. I'll just take a little more. Try to put some over on this side. Not much. I don't need a ton. All right. At least it has something to work with there. All right. Now we just have to put this together. So we're going to put this on. This was sitting around 11 o'clock. So as I remember, so I'm going to push this back on with this somewhere around 11 o'clock. There. And there's a spring behind there. So when I hit the spring, it knows it. And there was one other thing I was going to show you, but I don't know if I can get this off now. Okay, was this. This right here is the contact. So that's the negative contact, the battery contact, and it's going to ride up on this. So that's what rides on here. So when I put this on there, that will ride on here, and then this will complete the circuit. So let's get this about, like I said, around 11 o'clock. And I'm hitting the spring there. So okay, let's see. I don't want to forget any parts. Trying to remember myself what went on here. It's been a few days since I took this apart. This was about maybe about right here. Just move this over here. Yeah, it's set something like that. Now there is a clip that goes on here. Oh, you know what? I don't see that clip. I think. No, I don't remember seeing it there, but okay, let me take it off. I just got to make sure I didn't leave that clip on down here. I don't see the clip. I got to find that retaining clip.
Oh boy.
Now there is a washer there. I don't think it would have fallen behind there. Okay, I'll be back. So I'll just go over with you. I had to locate my parts. Okay, so what's on here is there is a the steering shaft. This is all the further you could take it apart unless you take more apart. And so, but basically you're just going to have your spring down there, and then you're going to have this washer. Let me just double check something. I want to make sure this washer actually does not fit in there. So I was checking to see if this washer fit in there. It doesn't. So we definitely don't want that sitting on there. It's been a little bit of time since I took this apart. I want to make sure I put it together. So the washer's going on there first, then the spring's going down there, and when I put this on, the spring will fit inside of here. So that's the goal. So we put this on there, like I said, somewhere around 11 o'clock. Push it on there. All right, it's making contact. I filled the spring. Then I can take the retaining clip. Now this piece here has a mark on it. So this will be 12 o'clock. So that mark there will be 12 o'clock. We put this up there. And then I'll get that canceling cam just moved over to about right there so that that can sit up there. All right, so now this is sitting up there. This is about as close as it can get in this notch. Looks like it's pretty much perfectly centered. And then you have this C-clip. So to put the C-clip on, you need a little special tool, and you needed the same tool to get it off. So I'm just going to set the C-clip on, at least right there for right now. It actually needs to go down a little bit further, but I need to push this plate down far enough so that the groove opens up. So the way that you do this, I just happen to have these tools. I can tell you this is what the tool is. It's a 25134 tool. So steering wheel plate lock removal kit. All right, so we're going to screw this on to the steering shaft there, just a couple of turns. And then we're going to use this to push down the plate. All right, so push down the plate. So we're pushing down the plate far enough so I can get that C-clip in the groove. All right, now it's exposed. So if I show you, let me get my pointer, that right down here, if I can get the light, is the groove of where this C-clip is going to fit. So that's what we're doing. So now, hold this. Now I just have to move it down. So see if I can do this with my screwdriver and my hand. Let me see. I think I have another screwdriver. Okay. All right, I got it started. Oops, I did have it started. Just gonna make sure that I have it, that I'm not catching on something. It felt like my screwdriver was catching on something. All right, one leg of it is over. One leg over. Now we get the other leg. Sean. There we go.
Jeez.
All right. Now we just push this
That
down.
thing is freaking hard.
Which is why you need the tool to hold it for you. Okay.
Okay.
So you can see that clip.
Oh, I'm not even really. Yeah, I wasn't even.
Okay. So you can see that clip is now in its groove. So if I take the pressure off of here, and then I unscrew this, it'll stay in place. So that's what we want. All right. Now to test the horn, I could have done this before, but I'm just going to ground.
Whoa.
Just like that. And that tests the horn.
That tests the horn.
So now I put this cover on. Just want to get it lined up. Okay, so the screw holes line up. Now I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Okay, so then I'm going to put my screws in. Just gotta remember. Okay. Well, yeah.
Wow, there's a lot of stuff. Let's try not to.
I'm just trying to remember what screws I used. Oh yeah, there's 3 of them. Okay. So the interesting thing is, 2 of these 3 screws actually have an insulator on them, and 1 doesn't. Hopefully, that's not going to matter. I had to find a Phillips head. All right. There's 1. didn't see any insulator. So I'm going to guess that it's missing. But I don't think it's going to make a big difference on this piece. So we'll just tighten that one. Tighten that one. And tighten that one. All right, now
what? It's time to put this on.
Now I have my steering wheel, and I'm going to have to take my puller off. So my puller just had these two screws threaded into it. So one, of course, it's got to be one a little tighter than the other. I need some protection here. Okay, use the wrench.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
all right. I got a wrench. This one was a little tight.
All right. Okay.
That's how that works. Part of the operation is to drop everything. So mission accomplished on that. I can go down there. Now, the problem always is which side, okay. How do you line this up? So you see this big hole down here? This is a big hole. That's where the part that we're going to put in goes through. So I should be able to put this on over that, and I pre-marked the straight up and down. So what I'm saying is I put a mark right here on the steering wheel that's straight up and down. So okay, and that part that I have is sticking through there. So once again, this piece here is sticking through this hole here, this big hole. There's two smaller holes and a big hole. So I'm putting that through there, and then you'll see in that my mark here that I have is lining up. So now it's just a matter of this starting on the shaft. So I'm just making sure there's no reason why this isn't lining up. I may put a little bit of grease back on here. Sean, can you give me a little bit of that grease? I'm just going to put a little bit on my finger, and then I'm just going to put just a little bit in here to help this slide on better. All right. Move my finger up here. All right. Now do this again. Okay. She went on like that. All right. I think I'm going to be happy with that. That could technically be a little more straight up and down. It's slightly leaning to the left, but I don't think I'm going to worry about that. All right, now I'm thinking whether or not there was a washer on here. There is a cap there. The next thing is to put this washer, or to put this on here. All right, that's on there like that. I'm trying to remember whether or not there was a washer there. I have to look at the diagram. Okay, so the way that this was wired before, somebody had a wire sticking on that prong and it went straight down that hole. While it might have worked, it wasn't correct. So what's supposed to happen is that this tang here, if you look inside my steering wheel, it's going to line up with this. And so then when I touch this on there, I got spring pressure right now. It's pushing against me. So I'm just trying to, I'm not ready to do that, but that's what goes on next. And basically there's 3 screws here to hold this on, and then the cap just snaps right over top of this. So that's all that's left. I'm just going to double check to see if I needed a washer there before I do, because I'm going to have to tighten up this nut. And I'm going to have to do that first before I put this on there, because if I don't, then it'll be loose and we don't want that. So, all right, let me come back. Okay, checked, and there is no washer there that showed on the diagram. So I'm not worried about the washer. So the washers are in place, and I'll put the diagrams up. Now I'm going to lock the steering wheel down. All right. Now the steering wheel ain't coming off. Now we take this piece here. Remember what I said. This little tab here is going to come in contact with that little piece of metal. So it goes on there and it pushes down. And it sits like that. And then we take these bolts and we screw them in. And I can feel the spring pressure working against me. So I can feel the pressure of my spring. And I got a bee or a fly in my ear. Okay, just give him a quick little snug. And of course, this is the opposite if you're taking this off. First you take this off. Well, first you take the horn ring off. Then you would take this off. Then the steering nut. Actually, if you're not doing any of that, you probably can, well, no, I think you're going to have to take the steering wheel off to change that spring. If you're missing the internals in here, I think you're going to have to pull the steering wheel. So at the very least, you'll have to have a way to pull the steering wheel. You will not have to do that other step of pulling out that locking plate if you don't need to do what I had to do, which is pull off that steering, the canceling cam. They call that the canceling cam. So if you don't need to do the green canceling cam, you'll be fine. You won't have to do that step. All right, so now I should have a live horn. So when I go to press fit this on there, I'm probably going to end up beeping the horn. So I'm going to feel for the position. I guess that's going to be about right here, and I'm going to go for it. Okay, it's snapped on, feels snapped on at least. And then if I, okay, so it works. And that is all there is to this install. So, all right, guys, let me wrap up. Well, hopefully you found that video informative. If you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribe if you like this kind of content, and I'll be bringing more to you. So, ciao for now.